Grand final, ladies and gentlemen. The Lost Boys against Close to Death. We have a rematch, baby. I actually think that was the first series we cast for the Division SNA playoffs, and back then it was a best of 5. Now we're looking at a best of 7, and boy was it a series. Went to the final, map was pretty insane, and we have a rematch, and that is going to be pretty epic. On the left side for the blue team, Killusion on Karazim, Zergling on Dehaka, Cattle is playing Johanna, we have Hosty on Greymane, and Talking Trees on Junkrat. For Close to Death, Keenan on Reyna, Bloodsplat on Chen, Red Robot on ETC, we have Cookie Man on Zeratul, and Huberman on Tyrande. And we are ready to go and ready to rumble. Level 1, the Guitar Hero taken for ETC. And we're still having the cleave build focus for Zeratul even after the changes to a lot of the talents, not only with cleave, which got nerfed a few patches ago, but also after we've now seen changes to especially Wormhole. We've actually seen a lot more Seeker of the Dark, and that triggered a lot of players to go straight into these auto-attack builds that we see especially from players like Tai on the European scene. But this is the grand final, ladies and gentlemen, and again, it is a best of 7. Greymane already putting his prowess against structures to the test up at the top, and that test has been pretty successful so far. One tower down, second one already on half HP, and Karazim obviously helping out with that too, as they're starting to slowly retreat here. It's gonna be a pretty awesome series. I mean, seriously, if this is anything like the first best of 5 that we had in the tournament between the two teams, then it's gonna be fucking epic. I mean, they were just putting everything on the line in the first series, and it was a fantastic, fantastic best of 5. With a great comeback attempt there from the Lost Boys after they, if I remember correctly, lost the initial 2 maps and forced the 5th one then. So camps are taken, and we have a slight advantage for the blue team. The Lost Boys get theirs a bit quicker up at the top lane, which could help Dehaka to push that out. Him in the global position can of course now empower them later on to just use that and force 5 versus 4 engagements on the map. The Zeratul factor shouldn't be underestimated though. Despite the nerfs that we've seen to Wormhole, he is still incredibly powerful, especially since these days we also have a lot of Might of the Nerazine builds claimed by Zeratul players. So let's see how that works for them. At this point, we're having the Panda with the Eye of the Tiger as a level 1 talent again. And, yep, top lane. Okay, so ETC, they really love to play that ETC style. It's, oh, Talking Trees goes down. Yeah, they really like to play that ETC style with a speed metal on the level 4. In this case, the cow goes down, though. So it's a kill for a kill. And they're jumping in again, try and get a bit more. But that's that 5 versus 4 setup that we were talking about. Dehaka moved down to the bottom of the map with this little setup. But yeah, as I said previously, so with ETC they actually really like to go for that style where they oftentimes have the block party on level 1 and then go for speed metal on level 4. In this case they deviated away from the build slightly with the level 1 adjustment that I pointed out earlier, going into the Guitar Hero. But we're still seeing the speed metal on level 4 for them, so that allows them obviously to also attack, chase and, yeah, well, retreat a little bit more effectively. Usually we're seeing a more sort of a focus into the face metal, at least in other regions, but for now we have 1 kill against the kill. We're having still the mid lane attack here up to the top, Zergling going up against Bloodsplat, so it's the Chen Dehaka battle that we're watching here. And so far, Dehaka is doing fairly well against his opponent, and that should also net them another shrine, which eventually then could lead to a Dragonite if they are also taking the bot lane control, which they're definitely trying to do here right now. It's still a bit of an early poke that we're having between the teams. Hosty gets also attacked, and whoa, Jimmy nearly gets the kill there. But we have ETC close to dying too. So both of the teams with the aggression. And in this case, it was also an attempt to go for the surrounding of the camp there. But yeah, the bot lane control is so far in the hands of Close to Death, so they're doing pretty well with that. But at the top, it's going to change once that Chen gets a few additional talents in. Right now, it's an earlier level 7 for the Lost Boys, but only by the small margin. And with that, we're now also having the Broom Masters balanced for him right there. And that allows him to get a lot more done when it comes to just simply lane sustain. So, yeah, the extra talents definitely a huge boon now for Chen. We're having also quest talents. First of all, we are seeing the Wizened Duelist for Greymane. I can definitely net them a lot of damage if they're able to keep him alive. Also, Wormhole still taken, and Wormhole got nerfed as we said before. So you have now the cooldown with the 1.25 seconds between the blink and the wormhole, so that's actually a pretty big deal. You can still play it, and teams have done so too, but you need to be a bit more cautious when you engage. What Blizzard definitely was trying to do here, and successfully did, was to shut down the quick blink in, cleave, and then wormhole out build that has been played for a long time. It's just a really annoying style to go up against, and it pretty much doesn't have a lot of counterplay, which is one of the reasons why they decided to make that slight nerf here. But as you can tell, teams are still willing to play the hero, so Zeratul is still powerful, especially when you know what you're doing. You just have to adjust to the changes. They made, interestingly enough, similar changes also in Warcraft 3, where they gave the Blade Master a little bit of a different treatment. So now when it comes to the Blade Master and the Windwalk setup, it's a similar situation where you have a 2-second delay before you can use Windwalk again. So he also has these vulnerable moments when he starts to make those plays and cannot just simply go in, crit, and then Windwalk out again. So it's the same idea behind the Zeratul changes that we're seeing there. Now we're having level 9 against level 8, so it's pressure, and there's quite a bit. So we're having the attempt to go for the Dragon Knight, but down here at the bottom it's a 3 versus 3. They hold on for as long as they can, but the Dragon Knight has now been taken. So they get the Dragon Knight down at the bottom of the map. They nearly get the kill, but the dodge out is there. The Haka dies just as he nearly was able to take down ETC. He falls, but the Dragon Knight is active in the middle of the map and breaks through the wall and starts to take down the fort here. So really nice attacks against that. There comes the kill against Reyna at the bottom of the map, so they still are able to get the counter kill and kick the Ragdoll around a little bit. And that gives them level 10. And it's a quick level 10 for them too. You should be able to get the fort in the middle of the map too. And Johanna is very likely to walk out of this without any problem whatsoever. And obviously the fight at the bottom has now also transitioned into the wall being taken down. And if they get that fountain, which they do, they take the sustain away from the lane. Oh, oh, yeah, close. Nearly the kill. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a late decision to go into that additional stun. Now, if Kharazim uses that quicker, I think they can get the kill. But he used it after the Blessed Shield came out, which means that not the entire duration was hit. Here comes the ult. So, already they're starting to steal this away, but the Siege Giants are taken. And here comes now Hyperion after stage dive MVP, but I'm not so sure if that's going to work out for them. The fight gets already pushed past the Hyperion. There's the Tire, and Cookie Man goes... Wow, actually survives at 40 hit points as Kharazim dashed in again. But the heal was ready. Tyrande keeping the boys in play, but that didn't do a whole lot. A lot of ults used, but the camp still taken by the Lost Boys. So yeah, the Lost Boys definitely starting this game up with a lot of aggression. They want to get ahead in this best of 7 series. They want to crown themselves the champion in North America, Division S, and right now 17,000 damage for Junkrat, 15,000 for Greymane. There's a couple of decent stacks already on the Wizard Duelist. Has so far not died this game. Wave clear is obviously helping the Lost Boys now out too, since they're starting to move that in. But yeah, there comes the aggression through the camp, and that should actually net them another fort. And with the second fort down, that would mean an increase in passive experience for the team. This is an easy one. I mean, there's absolutely nothing they can do about that, but they're trying to force the fight now. Or at least they have ETC in a position where he could try and force it, but doesn't yet. ETC will more often now find himself up against the Haka, since he's the one with a globe that can use the stage dive to mirror the Haka's movements on the map. It's one of the reasons why ETC is chosen still these days. And also why he goes on the stage dive in the first place. So 11 stacks for Greymane, as mentioned, on the level 7. Now also seeing more camps taken. And that camp focus that we've seen from the Lost Boys has definitely helped them a lot. But we have also the Lost Boys going up against the camp topside now themselves, since Close to Death has taken their own Bruiser camp. Nice drag by Zergling, I really like it. Making sure that there's no aura any longer. It's a little bit of a fight there in the middle, with both of the shrines in the hands of Close to Death. You gotta be careful. But level 13 talents are now giving the blue team an advantage over their opponent. They're trying to use it. The Haka comes in, nearly a kill against Cattle, but Tyrande falls first. Cattle has fallen too though, and Greymane is going for the kills. Oh my god! Yeah, there it is. Red Robo, just as I was about to say, he might actually survive. Hosty keeps his stacks in play, is sitting at 13, and that's 4 heroes down. Again, yeah, 4 for 1 trade, and they're trying to get Blood Splat now too. At least they're making the plays. Well, the camp at the top lane, so that could actually take another fort down. And in addition to that, they have Collusion on 1. Have Junkrat on another shrine, and that means it is party time. That Dragon Knight wants to see some action, and it's gonna get that too. Collusion at the top is already moving out. Dragon Knight can now obviously start to focus either on the wall at the keep, or can move top lane and take the fort itself down. Yep, then we have the Dragon Knight coming in together with Hosty and with Cattle. Greymane himself can obviously help with the push if they set that up. That's what they're trying to go for here. If Greymane can take a few swipes against the structures, they have an even better time here. And there's a catapult to assist them as well. Chen is still top lane, trying to make sure that the fort doesn't fall, and has been able to accomplish that, but now needs to move back to help the team defending the bottom of the map, because this wall is likely to fall. And then you open yourself up to take the keep later on in the game. 13 on both sides, still the poke, no fight just yet, just a continuous poke with a Breath of Fire. And a bit of a kick in the ass of ETC. Trying to go for him as well. Go for the throat, by the way, for Hosty. I haven't really pointed it out yet, but he didn't go into Curse Bullet, which was, of course, recently changed. Not against this setup. Wants to get the easy kills in against heroes like Zeratul, if he can make the play, or Tyrande, Squishies in particular. So they open up the wall a little bit. Both of the towers are still standing, but both of them very low. And the Dragon Knight is about to expire, so they didn't really get too much out of it. But they still have a solid lead here, not only in kills. 6 against 3 puts them at double the kills that we have for Close to Death. But in addition to that, they now also have the map control, since they didn't lose a single fort yet. And thanks to the Lost Boys starting to push the top side, they should be able to eliminate the last fort standing for Close to Death as well. It's still a 5-mana we're seeing for the red team in the mid lane right now. And with level 16 being this close, it kind of seems a bit unlikely that the Lost Boys are going to give them a fight if they can by any means prevent it here. Both teams are just going for the Siege Giant camps right now, playing around those. But that's the talent that gives us the elongated tongue. They're already all moving in. Dehaka can now bury in 2 from the back line. 7-sided a little bit early. Stage dive against 2, hits hard, and Greymane is going to fall. Goes down, loses 7 stacks, but the fight still continues. They're moving in again, and Chen is down. Chen down, they're going for another kill, and there it is. The value for the way of 100 fists. Well, Kerosene is still a little bit low. Might still get some damage in. There's another chance there. They go for ETC, and he falls. But Zeratul takes the kill against Junkrat. 2 for 2. They're trading kills, but the drag is going to seal the deal for Reyna. Jimmy down. Jimmy eliminated. And now, with the level 16 advantage and 9 kills to 5, they can maybe finally take that top fort there. They go for camps again, so they have the Siege Giants that are still pushing in the bottom of the map, and they're now moving in down to the Bruiser camp, as Dehaka is trying to push out the top lane so that they finally get the fort itself. The rest of the team, on the red team side, is trying to get 16 for their efforts, so they're just sitting tight getting the experience here. And in the meantime, this camp has been taken, and the question is usually, can you push with 2 camps? But since the Siege Giants have just been defended against, and the camp is not going to spawn for another minute 30 on both sides, that's not going to be the case. Dehaka looking for the shrine now, and the wave is trying to take down the fort. Yeah, Huberman might have to rotate away even. Tries to stop it, but this is likely to fall. And now another Dragon Knight? Maybe not quite, because Zergling will have a tough time against 2 heroes at the top of the map. But this is still pushing. And the red team has trouble reacting to it, because they need to focus their attention towards the mid lane, where another Dragon Knight is currently being threatened. 16 talents is ready for them, which gives us the Void Slash. Actually trying to slash away against Johanna here. But as we're seeing all of this happen, we have another camp taken. So there's more pressure at the top lane in just a few seconds. Zeratul has now moved to the bottom to at least relieve the pressure from the mid lane. But this is still pushing. And this is a big bad push. You need to deal with that. You need to deal with that soon, or your keep is going to take damage. And Zeratul seems to be the one that wants to go for it. But there's a fight in the mid lane in the meantime. And Chen goes down. Chen is dead, and they're looking for more here. 18 against 16, and they get the kill against Zeratul. And this keep at the bottom of the map is likely to fall. And guys, they might be able to end now. They could end now. They're going for the Dragon Knight again, and there's no one to stop them. Johanna is already at the bottom of the map, trying to just slow the defense down a little bit to make sure that the fort falls. And it should. Another minion shot, and VIP Archer, look at that. Gets the final hit in there. By the way, Tyrande with the Quickened Blessing on level 13, so even more movement speed after we've already talked about speed battle. a bit earlier. Camp pushing at the top lane, Dragon Knight at the bottom. Zeratul has the Void Prison and he will be back, so he can delay any effort to take down the core. But can they save it? That's the bigger question. Well, they have Hyperion on cooldown, so that's a tool that they can't use. Here comes the Triple Panda. Dragon Knight gets burned down quickly. Top lane gets some value, but the Dragon Knight is already on 50% HP. These Dragon Knights these days, not what they once were. But the fight is not over yet by any means. Now, Zeratul is in trouble. As a quick punt, but not a kill against ETC. And Zeratul might fall and blinks over the mines, but Tyrande is dead. Tyrande dead in collusion with 7-sided, Waver, 1,000 fists, 100 fists. He's just going straight in with one hit after another, and Zeratul goes down. No wormhole for him. Nope. This time, the newly changed talent definitely showcasing why it has been enough. 3 heroes down, 4 heroes down, and that's gonna be game. The Lost Boys with the lead in this best of 7 series at the Division S North America playoffs. Core goes down and close to death, trailing behind now as victory is taken by the Lost Boys on Dragonshire. Game number 2, ladies. It is Sky Temple, our best of 7 series at the grand final. The Lost Boys in the lead, and boy do we have combos here. We're on Sky Temple and we have Collusion on Brightwing as the blue team decides to put the Fruit Fly into the battle. Cattle on Johanna, Hosty on Lunara, Zergling on ETC, and Talking Trees on Greymane. But we have someone looking for adventure. Close to death, they're playing with Huberman on Lily. Keenan on Falstad, Bloodsplat on Imperius. We have Cookie Man on Samuro, and Red Robot on Nuburak. So I'm not quite sure what happened in the draft there, but it feels like after Brightwing was taken, Close to Death just said, you know what, if you play without a support, we play without a support too. And then they went into Lily. Memes aside, I'm not quite that certain what happened there, but yeah, they want to have the blinds against Greymane, I assume, or something. But yeah, the Lily factor is going to be very interesting to say the least here, especially since we're having the global in form of Brightwing now on the map too. But as it stands, we're seeing the auto attack build for Falstad, Seasoned Marksman taken on level 1. You don't see it all that often anymore these days. Plus Lily going into the Wind Serpent. And at the bottom of the map, we're having our little 4-man here. Now again, if you have Greymane, taking down structures is obviously going to become a bit easier for you. So far Greymane has done extremely well after the recent patch. Not only did the Cursed Bullet get buffed, but also in addition to that we had a buff on the auto attacks. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Vada doesn't see more play in the North American region at this point, because at least in Europe she's been played a lot after Blizzard buffed her hit point pool, which was definitely one of the big downsides for her. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of Vala played here. So Cookie Man will look towards the later stages of the game. Camps are now taken on both sides, and we're talking Siege Giants at this point. And let's see, mid lane, good old Jojo is putting her wave clear to some good use, as camps are claimed all over the map right now by the blue teams. So similar to game number 1, they're putting Greymane on the job, and he is happy to oblige. Yeah, gets that one pretty easily rocked down. Let's see if we get the Wizened Duelist on level 7 again. Actually did quite a lot of work for them in the last game. I mean, he died once and got reset there. Never really got the full stacks, but still, got solid damage from him. But in this setup, you could definitely make a play also for the Cursed Bullet. Now, when we're talking about Sky Temple, obviously you want to take down as many structures as you possibly can without using the objective. And the team that does more of that normally has a much better time trading objectives than the opponent. What's going to be interesting is also the boss. And with what we are seeing from the red team, we have definitely a couple of tools that can go for boss control. Just generally speaking, that spot. So, I don't know, for example, just having the Mighty Gust for Falstad. This is a big tool there. If you have a Cocoon, you can play around that too. Now we have a few things that can definitely be put to the test from the perspective of the Lost Boys as well, especially if they go into the Emerald Wind, but we'll see how that pans out. What definitely works out now is that big push here at the top lane. I mean, oh boy, are they doing work now. They are actually rocking this entire lane. I said it before, if you take structure... Holy cow, what? Falstead dies too. I mean, someone help. Like, this is starting to become a bit of a problem. Everybody just stands around and is watching, but they are rocking through the top 4 like it's nothing. And Close to Death is just watching this. This is an entire wall, fountain, and fort taken down without the use of the objective before the objective. I mean, this is as good as an early game gets on this map. Holy cow. As I said before, if you get the advantage by destroying structures without the objective, you're in a great spot on Sky Temple, and they just took the entire top 4. I don't think I've ever seen this. That's insane. Close to death is, yeah, I would say close to death right now. It's a little bit early in the game, but if they just don't find an angle back into this, then they're gonna have a big problem. Falstead thought it was a great idea to go up against ETC with Brightwing on the map. I'm not quite sure if I can agree with that. Keenan is still on the move, but yeah, Zergling has to be careful because Falstead got a few friends in there to help him out. So he's trying to get some action going on there, which means that Greymane is the one who deals at this point with Samuro. During all of this, we've still seen the bot lane getting attacked. Yeah, there's still a bit of a fight for the final shots, and the shots get taken. At the top, they're pushing them away from the temple as well. 7 in their hands. I mean, oh boy, it's a single kill in the game, but we are seeing massive, massive damage against the structures. Top is down, and here in the middle, we have the fort down to half HP as well. Falstead, oh, what is this? Quick match? Secret weapon on Falstead, really? I mean, North America, now you're going full NA, and even NA should never go full NA. This is a bit too much for me. No boomerang on the global. Ugh. This is not really a great thing. Yes, I know, the talent has been buffed slightly, but still, even with the auto-attack build, you go boomerang. It's an unwritten rule in any competitive setup. You want to have the wave clear on the off lane. It helps you also to get the stacks quicker for your level 1 for the stacks. And you don't really get a lot of attacks through by using this talent. It sounds amazing in theory, I know. But if you get like 2-3 auto attacks through, that's not really helping you all that much. And usually when you use that, you're not getting too much out of it. Boomerang on the other side gives you burst, it gives you wave clear, and it's a great talent just to begin with. So I can't really agree with that talent choice. But either way, Keenan is at this point still taking that off lane, and I would expect that we're going to see ETC probably with stage dive regardless of Brightwing being on the map, because he is going to push that out. He could go Mosh Pit. There are interrupts obviously on the other side. We're having first of all a Nubarak which can shut it down pretty quickly. We have also Imperious, Mighty Gust if it comes to that. But yeah, there it is. Stage dive is being used. We have also the Blink heal now taken. And yeah, there we go. Leap, more the traditional style on the North American region over Thornwood Vines. But as you can tell, we actually have a pretty normal build for Lumara. Sentinel Wisp, Nature's Culling, and Splintered Spear. That's a European build if I've ever seen one. So going away from the builds that we've seen previously. That's a panda on the run, and that's a dead panda too. So after Samuro died, well, actually... For just a second, it looked like she might survive. Lydia was looking for adventure, and in this case, she found an adventure, but it was a bit too much for her. Level 10 abilities in, a fight immediately forced, and now the fight is all over the place. Right now, we're having 3 kills against 0, and the Lost Boys are absolutely killing it in game number 2. Yeah, they won the quick lead in this best of 7. I mean, damn, son. They struggled a lot more in the previous best of 5 between these two teams that we cast in the first round. As I said, that was a nail-biter. But right now, it's a bit of a different story. Armament coming in from Bloodsplat. He hesitated a bit on the talent choice, didn't go into Wrathwell. But that's another fort at the bot lane eliminated. And the one in the mid lane is now also getting attacked. And considering how many shots are still available, might not quite drop it, but it's going to be really close. And a few are still missing. An attempt to go for a kill at the bottom of the map already thwarted. That didn't work out. Yep. ETC now, but nearly with a stage dive back. I take a quick look at the damage here. I don't really expect to have too much yet. ETC actually the one with most of it, because he has always been in this 1 versus 1 setup topside. But there they go for the kill against Johanna. And can they get it? Nope. Brightwing comes in just in time, and there's a dead Nubarak, I'd say. Yep. Red Robot. There we go. Mighty Gust comes in a bit too late. And yeah, that's another problem. You might get a little bit of value out of the boomerang if you go for it. But that can be quickly moved away from. So now we have Mighty Gust used, and after one hero died and Mighty Gust was used as well, Lost Boys immediately said like, yeah, that's a free boss, ladies, and they went straight in, took the boss, and that is now double the trouble on the side of Close to Death. Have to deal with the boss, have to deal with the rest of the team. I mean, this is getting disastrous. So maybe Cookie Man can change it a little bit. Maybe in the late game, he's the one who can change it. Right now, it doesn't really seem like he can do too much. ETC has actually controlled him quite nicely. Little 13 talents are now in. And Falstad is dead. The bird is down. So Falstad taken apart. Lunara is able to claim victory here. And they are just murdering them. Honestly, someone stop this. This is just insane. Guys, they're already on the ground. You don't have to kick them in the gut here. Can someone please call 911? There's a crime in progress. They're just deleting them. 3-level lead pretty much. 5 kills against 0. ETC comes in to help out. There's the slide. They go for Cookie Man. Can they go there for the keep? Probably not. I mean, it's still only 9 minutes into the game. Bosses scale as the game continues, but it's not a pretty picture for Close to Death. This is kind of crazy. There are 2 temples now also on the map, and Cookie Man is trying to at least get one of them, but they're obviously down in talent, so they're definitely going to lose this one. And that means that they're going to lose the keep at the bottom of the map. We're talking 10-minute keep. 10-minute keep at this point. They have an insane advantage. That bot lane is going to push throughout the entire rest of the game. And now, well, there's at least 1/4 that falls, so yeah, that's something. But the mid lane is now getting attacked as well, where the turrets are going to fall. Falstad is starting to push out the bottom of the map. Greyman is taking the copies down. But unless they can cancel them with continuous Samuro usage, I don't see a way for them to come back into this. So, let's see. Mid lane. Okay, for a second I thought Falstad 1v1 was a 1v1 Brightwing and lost. But yeah, there was a rotation. My bad, missed that. But yeah, the bird is down again. 27 stacks, by the way, for Falstad, and now he has obviously the giant killer synergy. But that's 6 kills against 0, 2-level lead, half a level away from level 16. And they're getting the final few shots at the temple down to the bottom, which allows them to now go through the wall and will attack the mid lane pretty quickly. How do you get back into this? I honestly, the only ticket that I really see is Samuro. That Samuro is able to just somehow play around them the entire time while the rest of the team holds on and is somehow able to pull that off. And I think even that is going to be a big issue. So they're trying to use the global to put Collusion in trouble, and that doesn't seem like it's happening either. Maybe, nope. Just blink kills away. Not even Cocoon or anything. 16 is now ready for them. They're stealing the camp away. Brightwing has gone into the phase out. And yeah, so that's pretty much at this point her mini ice block. We're also seeing on top of that the Holy Renewal, more sustainability. We're having Greyman with the Executioner. Brightwing is now moving topside, and with 16 talents and 6 kills against 0. Plus camp, plus catapult. They're just saying, let's go. From Lost Boys to Let's Go Boys, as they are trying to take another keep down and maybe even decide all of this. Alright, there's the Gust into the corner. Great stun from Anubarak, that's at least something. Brightwing gets attacked. Cookie Man is about to fall, but it's Lily that dies first. Lily down, Samuro down, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Red Robot goes down 2, that's 3 eliminated. They should be able to go for the core here, with Greyman in particular. I mean, yes, they have 4 kills. They go for the keep first. They don't even have to. They can just simply go for the core. They've already taken the one at the bottom. But that's 10 kills against 0 now. 17 against 15 in levels. And holy hell, the Lost Boys, they are wiping them off the face of Sky Temple. And that's a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series against Close to Death that they are now securing for themselves here. GG. And well played, as the Lost Boys are victorious on Sky Temple against Close to Death. Well played. Game number 3. The Lost Boys are a bit on a roll here. They apparently are trying to end this one early. As it stands, we have Collusion on Brightwing again. We're seeing Cattle on Diablo, Zergling on Samuro, and we have Talking Trees on Abathur. Look at that. North America finally discovers the strength of Abathur. Definitely something that was way more popular in Europe and usually disregarded in the NA region. Hosty on Cassia, and we have over to the right side, Close to Death with Keenan on Jaina, Red Robot on ETC, Kooky Man on Greymane. Greymane so far has a 100% win ratio in this best of 7 final. Bloodsplat on Chen, and Huberman on Rhaegar. Time for a real challenge for Brightwing, this time going up against an actual support. But then again, Brightwing also has a little of assistance this time with Abathur, and that obviously, as I explained in one of the previous series, has a pretty nice effect because you can pretty much portal in with Brightwing, get Abathur in as well, and all of a sudden what was a 1 versus 1 lane turns into pretty much a 3 or 2.5 versus 1. Okay, so with this we're now also seeing the Soma transference on 13 going to be activated because the pressurized glance comes in on level 1, so you're going to look for that synergy later. 6 stacks already for the Thunderstroke. Jaina going down. Okay. Well, that was a quick kill here. The Lost Boys, they are just continuing where they left off on the last map, don't they? Jaina, by the way, throughout all of this, hasn't even been dishing out a single point of damage here. Interesting. Still sitting on 0. Okay. Bloodsplat at the bottom of the map. Eye of the Tiger for him. Putting on the Chen moves. And let's see. There comes our aggression with Grey. I mean, every single time you see a Greymane in the game, usually what happens in the earlier stages is that he starts focusing on a lot of the camps just to make sure that you're also getting the value there. And it helps you to really just push that out, get the experience, you get the pressure on the lanes. That's pretty solid for them. Same time now, though, we're having a camp taken on the other side. It takes a little bit longer. Zergling is soloing that together with Abathur. Bottom of the map, still the stacks coming in, and obviously Hosty is benefiting from the fact that Bloodsplat is usually drinking. Look. Yep, need to get all that cold brew in. All that Budweiser light that the American Chen has in his keg. Yeah, Cattle is currently sitting mid lane, and he definitely needs a little bit of assistance, even if it's only Abathur, because there's a big push coming, and yeah, there's 3 heroes pushing with that, so there needs to be someone helping him out here. Cattle nearly falling. Hosty already thinking about coming in from the back. Brightwing hasn't made the rotation just yet. Arcane Intellect, by the way, on level 4 now for Jaina. Hosty low and Hosty down. Okay, and we have that. Dubus is dead too. All right, close to death, showing some signs of life here. I mean, the pushes stopped, but they went through the wall. They took the 4th half down in HP, and they also got 2 kills. So yeah, I like it. Look at them, starting to get a bit of value there. At the same time, we're having ETC rotating towards the top against Brightwing. We have now also, with level 4 talents, who would have thought, Speed Metal again. Talent that we've seen quite a lot for them, as I pointed out previously. It's one of the styles that Close to Death really likes. I mean, they love to play their ETC, just generally speaking. But the Speed Metal is a huge aspect of that. So, the Tribute is spawning in another 3 seconds, and this is the first one in the game. Both of the teams starting to focus on that a little bit. Yeah, Hosty actually missing this one. Trying to already poke into that. Stormcaller after the Wolf run. Run, Forest, run. Well, they're trying to get the interrupt here. Hosty. And yes. Gets interrupted. Keenan needs to be careful. Zergling with Samuro and Abathur. That's always a huge problem if you get that set up. Zergling gets some assistance from Brightwing as well. Decides to portal in too. Now there's obviously a hit point pool missing in the fight because you have Abathur on the map. Keep that in mind. Abathur, by the way, is sitting mid lane forward, so hasn't transitioned toward the top to body soak a little bit. No body soaking from him during this. I'm actually surprised. I mean, he should burrow top lane. Talking Trees is not doing that right now. There is no global against them, so I'm very confused that this is going on. They get the kill against ETC on the other hand. So ETC is down. The fight is still raging on a little bit longer, but Bloodsplat is in trouble as well, and they're going in against Chen and kill him. Take him down, and Greymane follows. The Lost Boys, this is a best of 7 again, but we are starting to look at the situation where I could honestly see this end in 4 or 5 games. It's getting a bit crazy here. Keep in mind how the first series between these two teams went on the other hand. It was a 2-0 lead for Close to Death, and then the Lost Boys started to slowly gain some momentum, fight back, and force game number 5. We're gonna spoil that series. If you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely go back and check it out, because it's totally worth watching. It was a pretty close one. But either way, for Close to Death, you don't really want to try and get a reverse sweep going here. So you don't want to lose on map 3 and then being 0-3 in a best of 7. It's kind of insane. Talking about 7, on 7 in terms of talents, we have now the Ice Fury 1. That's actually something that we've seen a little bit more often these days. It's a bit of an interesting one. I haven't really seen it comboed off with too many talents for Blizzard then later on with level 13 and 16. Outside of ARAMs, that is. Boss get attacked now. And that is actually a bit of a greedy move. Definitely a move that can work out, but it's also a bit of a greedy one because the tribute is spawning bot side and it gets actually sniffed out. So this is gonna be interesting. Oh, that could hurt. Right wing can move in. Right wing can fly in and shoot soon. Oh, the kill against Greymane. The boss is still up, hasn't been leashed yet, but they get 1 kill. Do they get 2? No, they don't. And boss gets still kept aggro. Yeah, they're aggroing the boss and they're starting to go for it. Red Robot is starting to move in. They're collecting the tribute at the bottom of the map, so that's at least something, but the boss is still taken away from them. Greymane went down. It's a 5-minute boss. Again, it's not gonna do too much. Oh, but this is starting to hurt. Body blocks against it, and it's a boss and a siege tank and a kill against ETC. Oh my god. It's like, ay puppy, what is happening here? Level 10 on the board, 6 kills against 2. Top 4 is gonna fall. They're trying to make the play with the Valkyrie. Can't get the connect though. But this is starting to really hurt. Close to Death is 0-2 in this best of 7 series at the grand final. And the Lost Boys, they don't really seem all that lost to me. They look like they know exactly what they're doing here. Level 10 might be the ticket back into the game for Close to Death. Maybe. But right now, they're just getting bullied around. Close to Death is getting absolutely wrecked. I mean, just look at the value. Fort down, the wall down, the siege giants are still there. They still have level 10. They could push this a little bit further. Don't even do that. Down at the bottom of the map, Keenan on Jaina is at least getting some damage in. Talking Trees moved back in time, so he couldn't get killed there. But there's the level 10 abilities. Okay, Winter Mute. Potential in level 20. For now, it's the Water Elemental. Stage Dive. That's also what we're having there, and I would expect Curse Bullet against Diablo. As the channel, it's going to be the second tribute for them. Ancestral is already being used too. Camp, by the way, got stolen away as well. So things get even worse. And it's not the Curse Bullet. Okay. Interesting. Even after the buff and against Diablo, no Curse Bullet. Instead, go for the throw. And we have Kek! Okay, they want to go for the top Kek plays. Okay. We had actually a couple of Kek games in Europe as well. But I gotta be honest, Kek seems to be just such a weak heroic ability compared to the Triple Panda. Even after the buffs. I mean, it got buffed in the last patch too, so now you have additional armor. And the cooldown got reduced as well. But yeah, we're having already Samuro. Samuro with Avatar is just total cancer on a big map. It's honestly insane. You can take down any structure that you want with ease. First of all, Samuro with the symbiote is already an absolute monster, and then if you get the copy, you can easily take those down. With the keep already down 8 minutes into the game, and now the core being attacked, you can imagine how this game is most likely going to look. Samuro is going to push into this harder and harder and harder, and here he gets the value. Quest completed for Cassia. They're trying to get the kill against Zergling right now. That might actually work out. Oh, Diablo is dead. Is there a power slide here? No. Okay, so Zamura is going to get away. But Dibbles has fallen, so Dibbles at least has no souls left. And they stole the camp at the bottom. So they stole the boss at the bottom of the map. That's at least something. And they took the fort down. Top lane is the big problem on the other hand. There's the isolation play. Killusion. Can they get the kill? Bright Wing with the blink heal. And they're getting away from this. So yep, they get the boss, but they lose the keep top side. Can they push this maybe a little bit more aggressively? Level 13 talents are in, and that gives us now also the cooldown reduction for Cassia as she continues to poke. Soma Transference, as already mentioned earlier. Boss goes through the wall here, so they're opening this up, but can they get the keep? That's the bigger question, and I don't really think so. ETC doesn't have the stage dive ready yet, that's another problem. The top lane is pushing continuously. Blood Splat is turned into... Nah, he actually escapes. But they're gonna get the kill against Greymane now, aren't they? Yep, indeed they do. 7 kills against 3, 13 against 12, and catapults on the core. Now, these are still a 9-minute and 30-second catapults. They're not really gonna do anything, but of course, this is gonna become a problem during the rest of the game. It's 2 tributes against 2, and the third one is now spawning topside. Now, Greymane has just died and is going to be back in 9 seconds, but they can't use him for the fight, which means that this should be an easy curse against close to death. So we should see more structures fall now. The curse is in. Brightwing and Samuro are at the bot lane right now, going through those lanes and waves easily at this point, and things are problematic, to say the least. They're losing control of the map, that's the problem. Even if you start winning teamfights right now, they are losing map control everywhere. They have catapults pushing soon on every single lane, and especially the top lane is obviously a huge issue. So here's a potential kill against Red Robo. They're actually starting to chase this a little bit. And there's the interrupt on the stage dive, thanks to the polymorph, and that's a kill against ETC. 8 kills against 3. Earth Living Enchant goes in on 13 for Rhaegar. I haven't seen this one in a while. Alrighty. So here comes the push towards another opening. In the middle, interestingly enough, the fort has been saved. But it's a 2-level advantage now for the Lost Boys. And that is starting to become crazy. And right now, opening up the bot wall is already a big win. Curse is active for another 8 seconds. That helps. ETC jumps in. Mid lane, the wave gets eliminated. And that means that the fort itself is going to be attacked in just a moment. I don't think it's going to fall to a single wave, but if they get someone in there, they might be able to take it down. It's definitely going to help. ETC is there. Actually, it's Greymane. Greymane jumps in and starts to deal with it. Over here, the catapults are still pushing, and as I said before, this is starting to become more of a problem for them as this continues. Now, we have level 16 talents ready, and this is just as we have the bosses up on the map again. Or, well, one boss up. And this is the one you can't lose. If you are the red team, you can't lose that boss. If you do, the game's over. That's the big problem that they have to deal with right now. There's the Ancestral, there comes the APOC, and the big move in with the slide already. They're trying to get the kill against Greymane. If they kill a hero or two, they can go boss and then they can go core. They go for the wolves, they take both of them down. Greymane and Rhaegar are both dead at this point, and this isn't looking pretty. Not at all. I mean, they dropped Jaina without any problem whatsoever, so she's taken out too. And that's now 3 heroes down, and at this point they can just go for the boss and play it from there. That should be the easy decision in the third game of this best of 7. Now again, if they lose, close to death it is, the series isn't over. Lost Boys have to win 4 games in the best of 7 to crown themselves champion, and so far they've taken 2. But it is an insane performance here from the Lost Boys compared to what we've seen in the first best of 5 between the two teams, where actually close to death dominated for a long time, for a long period. Boss, by the way, hasn't been taken. Death timers are still low, so they didn't go for the boss here. They still just run with the advantage that they have. I actually feel like they didn't really capitalize on the kills that they got. They took a camp, but besides that, the camp didn't really do a whole lot. So now, with level 16 talent still missing, there is still close to death guarding the spot at the top side. And they have to. Again, there's no keep at the top anymore. That's the big problem that they are experiencing right now. Circling and Collusion are currently still taking this. Dealing with that. There's another tribute now spawning at the top. They can let this one go. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. That could be a double stun. Actually, it can't be because he didn't go into the talent. He went full Firestorm here. So yeah, no insta-deaths, thanks to that. Apocalypse comes out, connects with Chen. Fight is still on. Hosty. Oh, Greymane dead. Chen dead. Hosty falls on Cassius. That's 1 counter kill. They're trying to get a little bit more. The Zergling is actually moving out of the fight. And they might lose Cattle. Yeah, he gets blocked pretty hard here. There's the Ancestral, but Cattle survives. Yep, went into that Firestorm build and has the sustain that he needs. 13 kills against 4, starting to move through, and that's the end of Rhaegar. And that means only ETC and Jaina are alive, and they want to make sure that those two are also dying. ETC already gets chased. They're going to go for Jaina as well, but he is moving away because, well, there's obviously a lot of burst potential. The interesting part to me is that they have a rough time capitalizing on these kills. There's not really a lot that they can do at this point, so they're pushing out the lanes here again. But they get the kills, and what do they get in return? Pretty much nothing. Think about what just happened. They got experience to that. But neither were they pushing the bot lane, they couldn't. Nor did they take a camp, nor did they take a boss, and now we have 16 versus 18. Close to death is still in the game, as ridiculous as that sounds. It's 14 kills against 4, and they're 2 levels behind, so don't get me wrong, there is obviously a big advantage for the blue team. But the game isn't over yet, and I could have sworn that at some point they might make the play there. But now we're talking about the bottom again, and that's where we have the boss about to be taken. Bloodsplat sees it though. Keep in mind, he went into Keck. Valkyrie misses again. And their game is still on. This is an even fight. If at this point, if Close to Death wins the fight here, they take the curse and they take the boss. And that is gonna hurt. So this isn't over. It's a huge advantage for the blue team, but this isn't over. Win one fight right now and have a chance to come back into this. That's pretty much what we're talking about. Ticket back into the game. A ticket back into game number 3. 14 against 4. They have to push the advantage a little bit. They have to really push the envelope here. Yep, there's still Samuro dancing around, riding on the money pick. Activating the boss and, well, getting the... Oh, they go for Osti. They try and he stays alive for much longer. But there's the channel. There's the channel Samuro, but Cassia is down. Cassia is down. Can they get the interrupt? And the answer is yes. They get the interrupt. They just got the first kill. They got the first kill. They want more, and they might actually get it. Zergling dies. That's 2 down. Guys, that's 2 down. Abathar is pushing the top lane with the symbiote. That's going to be important, but the boss is up, and they're going to get this one. They're going to get the curse, and they're going to go for the boss right now. This is actually the play, and this also means that all of this is going to fall because the curse is an easy defense against this. Abathar can do whatever he wants. It's not going to happen. So all of a sudden, there's a chance that they come back into the game. It's a small one, because level 20 is just close for the Lost Boys, but there is a chance now. They have an opportunity. And let's face it, that keep is toast. That keep is toast. Guys, they might try to end here. They might actually... They have to end here. They could end here. They honestly have what it takes. 22 seconds for Samuro. 22 seconds. Cattle is 1v5ing. Illusion comes in, they go for Cattle as hard as they possibly can, and Diablo is down. Diablo is down, and the boss goes for the core. 20 talents are not there, but they're going for it right now. The shields are down. The hell is happening? You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding. What? Close to Death wins game number 3 against the Lost Boys with 15 kills against 7 against them. What the hell? Unbelievable. They take Cursed Hollow and put the first point onto the scoreboard. Game number 4, everybody! And the Lost Boys don't have the 3-0 lead that they arguably deserved here. But again, we talked a bit about the throw in game number 1 from Close to Death, and now we're looking at the Lost Boys, pretty much looking at the same picture here. But yeah, Collusion on Anduin for the blue team, Zergling on Blaze, Talking Trees on Tacita. We have Cattle on Johanna and Hosty on Tracer. On the right side of the map, Keenan on Alarak for this game. We have Red Robot on Varian. They're trying to counter Tracer, as we've seen in previous NA games with Varian and his taunt. Huberman back on Lily. Yeah, Lily worked out great on Sky Temple, so you definitely should go back into that. Cookie Man on Greymane, who is currently still 100% win rate in this best of 7. And Bloodsplat on Cassia. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, game number 1 was not a throw. I'm actually mixing this up with our 3rd place decider that I casted earlier, so my apologies for that. But yeah, when we talk about Cursed Hollow, I mean, let's be honest, you take a keep at the 8-minute mark, you should definitely be able to play a little bit better there. It's the last fight that really just screwed them over completely. Curse plus boss plus late game kills and high death timers ended it for the Lost Boys in a map that they should have kind of won. So Close to Death were very close to death, but they were also able to take it. And, well, now we're looking at game number 4 and we're on Battlefield of Eternity. So, interesting enough, Greymane is the one who actually has to take over the duty on the solo lane. We've seen this a couple of times previously with an Alarak setup, since he obviously wants to stay in the action. Wants to get a couple of stacks together too. If he goes into the negatively charged on level 4. And now we're having also a Tracer composition with a double support. So Tacita is going to try and boost her a little bit. Lily is in the action as well as we said previously, and it's time to shine here. Can the combo with Red Robot on Varian and Greymane pull it off against them? Oh, the kill against Alarak. Greymane comes to the party, but he's a little bit late and is just trying to help the team out. Everybody on the red team side is already low. Not looking too good here. So, a couple of stacks coming in from Tacita as well. Different build, by the way, for Cassia, sitting on the charged strikes with the level 1. Now, the one thing that I still have to say about the last game is that, especially when we're talking about Cassia again, Valkyrie didn't really do a whole lot. At the same time, I also feel that Chen, we talked about it during the game, didn't get a lot out of the Keck either. That talent is just not really on the same level as the Triple Panda. Triple Panda is absolutely insane right now. We've seen it in Europe too. There's a couple of players on the European scene that were trying to play around the newly buffed Keck when all of it came out, but honestly it was like 2-3 games and then everybody just said, alright, let's screw this. This is not even close to getting the same value, so let's move away from that. But yeah, we already had previously once the setup with the Varian and Taunt against Tracer. Didn't really go that well last time. One of the things that you can do as the team that goes up against this, if you're playing the Tacita double support with her, is to simply go in and drop the extra armor on the level 4 talent, Color Slide. And actually, if I remember correctly, it was actually close to death the last time they played it against Hosty's Tracer. Yeah, exactly. The entire time I knew that I already had a game like this just recently, but honestly, until I now thought about it a little bit more, I didn't really remember that it was the same two teams that played that style. And the last time it didn't work out with Varian at all. Hosty just ripped them apart. And it was a weird thing, because for the longest time, teams didn't really seem to respect Tracer too much from Hosty, and he's just murdering people with it. So now that we're having Tracer in the setup again, I'm honestly wondering if he can just repeat that performance, because what happened normally is that at some point the teams just realized, well, this isn't working at all. We need to ban Tracer out on these maps, or it's going to be an automatic loss against us. So maybe in this case they can turn it around and make the combo happen, but we'll find out. They have Greymane in the mix, so that definitely helps them to get some easy damage in. And also with Alarak, you can obviously get the silence combo through. Show of Force, by the way, no negatively charged. It was nerfed a little bit, and now we have Show of Force a lot more often. Blood Splat gets turned into Blood Splatter. Now we have the bomb from Tracer connecting. Halftime Show 1 by the red team though, so they're at least getting that advantage, and Cattle goes down. So much for the Caterpillar. Eliminated, and they're focusing their attention back. Oh, that... Oh, nice! Oh, the Immortal Stun! Oh, Lily! No way. No freaking way. Oh, they all escape. So first Keenan gets an insane combo off against Hosty and they take Tracer down. Then the Immortal and the Jet Propulsion stun just work together and two heroes nearly die. It seems like you just need one auto attack and both of them fall. And both of them get away. Lily and Greymane, both with a great escape here. Insane. Unbelievable. But there's the halftime show. Well, that's the objective 1. After the halftime show was claimed, they now get the objective 2. And we have the Immortal moving down to the bottom of the map. So let's see how this is going to work out at this point. We're having, right now, level 7 talents for both of the teams. We have the Immortal coming through. Greymane has taken top side again. Let's see if they can defend this one. Now, you'd have a bit of hope with your Tacita Storm against this, but this is going to get a little bit tricky. Especially since we're still having that kill potential. There's the taunt. Not really sure if Cattle was the best target for this, to be absolutely honest. Maybe with level 10 it's a different setup. But in this case it didn't really work out for them, and now obviously they still have to play around the cooldown. It's a small one, so yeah, but still, there's another chance for them. Can already move in again. Yeah, level 7 abilities now give us also the Wizard Duelist again, plus we have also the second wind. I don't really see that all that often with Taunt. It's more a Meme Blades setup. Alarak, Hosty. Oh, and there's the kill. Yeah, Hosty's, honestly, Hosty's Tracer is pretty insane. And this is exactly what we're seeing here reflected again with another kill against Cassia. So now we have Alarak down and Cassia down. Greymane finds himself very much so alone on the top lane, on the other hand, and you should never leave Greymane alone for too long on any lane, or he is going to take those waves down and potentially also eliminate the structures. But the rotation comes in, and he doesn't have any vision. He doesn't know how many heroes rotate over, so he's playing it safe, going for the camp top side, whereas the blue team is focusing their attention onto the Khaldor camp at the bottom of the map. So with that, we're having immediately the poke at the bottom. And it's still pretty even. I mean, again, this is game number 4. We have the lead for the Lost Boys. They nearly got a 3-0 lead over their opponent in this best of 7, but close to death. They really held on the last map and were able to take it. Cookie, man! Cookie. The Lost Boys, they want some cookie and they get the cookie. So they take him down and they take the camp away, they take Greymane apart, and yeah, that is a pretty annoying setup again topside. They at least have heroes that can soak the experience now. This is Greymane just fell, but that's obviously a problem. So right now, we're having Tracer attacked again. There's a setup against Red Robot, and Varian moving out. Blessed Shield comes in, level 10 abilities give them the lead. Telekinesis to move them out. Already the light bomb for Varian. So we're gonna have Tracer with a light bomb action, starting to go into the fights here. Also Archon, the Blessed Shield already used but didn't get any value. It's a trap! And Varian kind of falls for it, but then again it's Varian, so yeah, he keeps himself alive and also gets a little bit of assistance here from Lily, who has on level 7 taken the let's go. And they are going! They take down Johanna, counter kill against Alarak, so it's a bit of a bloodbath that we're seeing here. But the healers are still in, Tracer already moving out. Another good connect from Blaze, and there is the value from, Cassia. Gets the ult through the ball of lightning and they get 2 kills. Blaze falls and so does Tracer. No Valkyrie this time. Greymane went for the throat again, and thanks to Greymane's added value against the objective, against the Immortal, they are very likely to win the halftime show. At least. I mean, it's pretty much 100% to 50% on the HP right now. Not a single point taken away from the Lost Boys. Now, it depends a little bit on the positioning right now, but it is going to be a burn on this one. And yep, they're already zoning out Cattle a little bit to allow Greymane to get a few more hits in. Red Robot needs to be careful, but this is starting to look way better for Close to Death than the variant setup the last time they tried for that particular counter to Tracer. But still, 6 kills against 5. When it comes to the kill count, it's close. But when it comes to the Immortal, that's a different story. Hosty is just pew-pewing away on the left side. In comes the aggression. Light bomb is already out. Catalyst moving in. Hosty is looking for targets. Blood splat with a poke. Gets the blind through now too. And Cookie Man. The heals are in. But the interrupt against Huberman's ult. And Cassia is toast. Cattle is also low though. Cattle is low and Cattle is down. Okay, so Cattle eliminated. A kill for a kill. Cassia dead and so is Johanna. And now the opportunity again to poke on the Immortal. And they're starting to go for it once more. Greymane, 7 stacks on his level 7. Ball of lightning. Soon going to be back to as is Cassia. He has the poke. There's the oil spill. Set ablaze as we're having the attack against Tracer. Tracer gets attacked. Go for the throat is ready and gets used, but there's the save. And the ult is ready once more for Lily. So with this, they're getting the heals through, and Greymane is still alive. The problem is that Red Robot is in a little bit of trouble. Gets the parry through, and they're getting the Immortal. And that's a big one. That's another big Immortal for them. 7 kills against 6, and they are looking solid with this. All of them moving back, trying to get mana back. In terms of damage, 26,000 for Tracer, 34,000 for Cassia. Yeah, it's starting to become a much more intense series than previously expected. The Lost Boys came in and started swinging with a 2-0. Nearly got the 3-0, but now Close to Death apparently found a bit of momentum. Found a glimmer of hope after winning on Cursed Hollow, so they're starting to go in a Battlefield of Eternity. They're definitely fighting back. They're trying to go for the 4 top side after they also took down the one at the bottom of the map. And with this, we're now seeing them claim both of the outer structures, and they could actually also start taking the wall at the keep itself. It's looking good for them, seriously. Not too far ahead in experience yet, still behind in kills, but generally speaking, they were both of the Immortals. That was good damage against Hosty too, poking him down quickly. That's all that you need to do. Keep Tracer on the back foot, make sure that she's on notice. All the time, just get the poking, get the damage in. Greymane has to go for the throat up in just another second, and the ball of lightning in those close quarter fights could also be an issue if they start to push in. Here comes the ult again. Uberman the entire time. Gets one through after another. Well, there's a quick attempt to go for Red Robo as the bomb already connects. He's low. Everybody's actually low. The red team might have a problem here. Close to death is close to death on several heroes. Jet Propulsion comes in. Zergling, on the other hand, has to be careful as well. And actually, Varian gets a lot thanks to his 7th talent. Level 7, the second win is helping him, and they get again the kill against Cattle. Johanna is down, and Cookie Man wants another cookie. Comes in and tries to get the kill. Already got one. And they're starting to get a little bit more. Nearly the kill against Tassadar as we saw them for the combo. Keenan, good damage from him. 108 sadism right now. 13 talents already. 13 is ready, and that gives us the Gale Force. Shattering Throw against Tassadar. Take now as well. Really nice on the passive, and the active of course too. Yeah, they're looking much better now. Much better than in previous games. They're already starting to go straight for the camps again. Now we're 11, 12 minutes into the game now. Level 13 is ready for the Lost Boys too. So they're actually being tight. I mean, every single fight is pretty much an even talent fight that we've seen so far. But when it comes to immortal damage, you just can't compete. The Lost Boys, that is. They have huge problems competing on the damage output. Now, we have at least the nullification, and that's a great tool against, well, mainly I would assume Greymane to keep Tracer safe a bit. But we're also seeing them on level 13 now with the enchant boots. Boots, baby. Doesn't really surprise me in the slightest that someone like Anduin wants to have a new pair of boots. I mean, I already suggested in the past that he should just sell the sword because he doesn't use it anyway. Could buy himself a nice new dress for that. And at this point he wants to have a pair of boots too, so yeah. I mean, again, when it comes to like the style points, he's definitely pretty chic on that. Ryan Money Pick would definitely give him a couple of additional points, yeah, for his style, but you can't have it all. So with that now, we're having again another move on to the Immortal, and Greymane is going to get the action in. Greymane with one hit after another. Cattle again gets silenced. The combo from Alarak is connecting here. They're trying to pressure him. Need to be careful. Don't get stunned out by the Immortal, but there's the kill! There's the kill! Again, Cattle is just getting bullied around at the front line here. As maybe Bloodspurt falls, the heals! Oh, Lily doing what she can. But Cassia is dying. Zergling can't connect the stun though, and this time he might actually be in trouble because of it. There's the taunt, and there's the follow-up. And that is kill number 2. 2-for-1 trade and 50% on the Immortal. Close to death, dominate every single objective so far. Every single one. Johanna is dead, didn't use the Blessed Shield in the last fight. I don't think it was on cooldown, but now there's a lead in experience for Close to Death. Let's just take a look at the damage as well. 48,000 for Cassia, 29,000 for Greymane. At least able to fight back a little bit. Camp at the bot lane has also to be taken down. But by the way, talking camps and stuff, look at this. If that catapult is able to move through, that's likely that the keep is going to fall. It's insane that the keep stands in the first place. That's the first thing. Oh my god, not again. Oh, that could be a kill. No, Cattle actually survives. This time he survives. Anduin is doing whatever he can to keep him in play here. But that was nearly another kill. And yeah, top lane again, it can become a problem. The keep shouldn't be standing there in the first place. But if that catapult starts to push the lane out, it might actually fall. Okay, there comes Lily. Once again, gets the heals in, slowly and steadily. Cooldown increases as it continues. And we're having the poke against the Immortal. And they are about to win this one, boys. They can win that again. They're all low, though. They're all incredibly low. They really need to be careful here. Lily needs another 50 seconds until she has the ult back up. But that's the kill against Tracer! Jeez, Keenan with another insane combo against Tracer. We saw a similar one earlier, and he pulls it off again. Now we have 16 for them. That's absolutely fantastic. 16, the martial law is in. The eager wolf is now there too. And they're trying to go for another kill, and Keenan is ready for another combo. Telekinesis, silence, Greymane jumps in, and that's the death of Blaze. And what about Jojo? Jojo gets attacked too, throws out the Blessed Shield. Cattle nearly falling, but survives for a little bit longer as Keenan was trying to deliver the final blow and could. So now they can go to the top, take down that Immortal again. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that nobody just simply moves in and drops the final hit here. Seriously. Cassia, if she walks over, gets one single strike through, it's over. That thing is down. Anybody could go in there. I mean, honestly, you sneeze at that thing and it's dead. And it looks like finally we're going to see that play. Red Robot is already sitting at the side, waiting obviously for a little bit of vision. Could then flank, could also move via one Lion's Tooth, and things are done for this one. Big Immortal, again, 11 kills against 8, 16 minutes in, and that bad boy scaling means that they are also in more trouble right now. There's Varian still sitting on it. Keep down! And now we can rotate back down here, towards the bottom of the map. 21 stacks for Greymane on the level 7. Hits keep coming. 11 stacks against 8, and that could be another keep now. Yeah, shields are slowly falling, but it's hurting. That Immortal. Too much damage, baby. Way too much damage. 138 Sadism stacks on Alarak. 140. Starts to go in again. Greymane with a jump, and that keep is going to be obliterated. Lost Boys are pretty much on the ropes now. They finally have level 16 talents, so they can fight on even talents again for a little bit longer. But they are just losing ground. They've been losing ground for 17 minutes now. There's a Psionic Echo. It's great. Locked and loaded as well for Tracer. But Tracer had a much tougher time than the last time they played against this. Last time they kept her alive the entire time, and Hosty just ripped them a new one. This time the variant setup is actually starting to work a little bit, especially comboed with Alarak. Alarak got several insane combos through that just dropped Tracer within a second. So that was a huge problem. Now we still have Red Robot being attacked here. Alright. Keelan comes in again with Alarak, gets the ult out. There's the counter-strike. Lili in the back gets interrupted as the Blessed Shield comes through. Alarak, they keep him alive for a little bit longer, but Keelan, oh my god, he does it again! Tracer is dead. Just as Keelan was about to fall. Cattle is low, and there's the value from the Ball of Lightning. Oh my god. They take down Jojo. They take down Tracer. Big push top lane, and they already go down to the bottom of the map to push this one as well. That wave just disappeared. That just disappeared within 1 second, and guys, they're going for core. They're going for core, they're going for game, they want to win it right here. They want to tie the series in this best of 7. They go for Blaze. Zergling tries to move out. Varian with the blocks, but the core gets attacked as they're going in with everything that they have. And Cookie Man in particular, of course, can drop it even quicker. But most of them are back. Can they get the kill? Yes. Anduin is down. Everybody's low, though, for the red team as well. There comes the cleanse. Look at how low these guys are. What the hell? The core is down to 94. Well, Lili, on the other hand, has died as well. We have Cattle trying to move in. Greymane is dead, but so is Cattle. 80% on the core now, but they can't take it yet. They can't take it. Not yet. Not now. They got 20% of that thing, and they traded 2 for 2 in kills. They have level 20 also nearly up, and they are the first ones to make the play for the objective again. But they could have lost a lot more heroes there. So, yeah, pretty insane. Greymane dying, by the way, also means that he lost a lot of his stacks. He's now sitting at 13 again on level 7. It's not horrible, but still, there's the damage. And Catapults are obviously still pushing on every single lane against the Lost Boys. And this is a free halftime show, and they have now level 20 as well. The problem for the Lost Boys is that they're forced into a fight against an opponent that has a level 20 advantage over them, and they can't do anything about it. Deadly Charge is there. We're now also seeing the Jug of 1,000,000 cups. And this is gonna get rough. This is a shitty fight to take. This is literally a lost-loss situation. I mean, you don't want to take that fight in the first place, but you are forced into it. You can't do anything else. Greymane comes back. Jojo is a little bit quicker, but still. Now we're also having the glory to the Alliance. That was a bad thing. And here we go. They're starting to force that fight. Alarak is coming back. They even took the camp, so that's going to push the top lane now together with the catapults. Talking catapults, there's 2 at the bottom of the map too. And there we go. This is really bad for the Lost Boys. If Close to Death just draws this out, all they have to do is buy time. If they buy time, both lanes are going to be pushing against the core. If anybody defends, like Blaze for example, they can go for the attack instead. Because they know that they have a numeric advantage in addition to the talent advantage. And that's what they're doing. They're going in. Look at the sadism, by the way, for Alarak. Are you kidding me? 166? He's at 71,000 damage. He just took over the... Oh, Alarak! Nah, he doesn't fall. No. Again, Huberman with Lili's ult, keeping them in there. But yep, the core gets attacked right now. And Alarak is just sitting on his sadism and gets the damage though. And they're going for it again. They're going to take the objective, and if they win the objective, they pretty much win the game. The core is already under pressure. There's nothing they can do about it. The Lost Boys, they have to fight. It's a lost spot for them. It's a checkmate position pretty much. And Khaldor goes down again. The 8th death on Johanna. Doesn't make it into the double digits, but it's bad enough as it is. And the core is falling, and it's falling quickly as the fight is still raging on. The Winions are taking it. Cassia falls, but it doesn't matter. The core is down, and this is game close to death. 2 wins in a row. And the series is tied as we are heading into game number 5 of the best of 7 series. Game number 5, everybody! The Lost Boys taking the 2-0 lead early on and then losing 2 in a row as the close to death boys are a little bit... well, they have woken up. They're a little bit more efficient in the last 2 games, and they're really putting the plays in here. So we have again a bit of an interesting setup. That Lily is just making appearance after appearance here in North America. First of all, for the blue team, we have Collusion on Ana, Talking Trees on Lunara, Zergling on Blaze, and again, the Uther main tank, the full NA style for Cattle. Hosty on Cassia, as on the right side of the map. Keenan on Zebo. Red Robot on Anubarak, Blood Splat on Arthurs. We are seeing Huberman on Lily and Cookie Man on Greymane. And again, Greymane, 100% win rate so far in this best of 7. So, with this said, we have Nazebo in play. And this is a map that oftentimes goes into the late game when you have level 20, so that's obviously the thought process behind the Nazebo pick. We've actually seen previously in HGC similar ideas. Some teams even went as far as picking Ragnaros back then with Nazebo, the thought process being that Ragnaros on maps like, let's say, Infernal Shrines is fantastic with his trait to stop objectives and to delay the game a little bit. So Ragnaros was used to buy time for level 20 to kick in and for Nazebo to really hit his power spike. And it was an interesting setup there. So in this case, the thought process is a bit similar. It's a map that usually goes a bit longer, so then you can get the level 20 talent for him, and you can really start to capitalize on that damage output if you get the stacks together for your trade. So with that done, we're now having 3 stacks on the Lightning Fury build for Cassia. Again, main tank Uther setup, so the double support for the Lost Boys here. Not really something that I'm a massive fan of, as I already said multiple times, but hey, NA loves it, and it has, I think it's pretty much 50-50, at least in the games that I've casted so far. Don't have any decent stats on that. Greymane, on the other hand, he has 100% here in this best of 7. So Lily comes out, has so far 50% win ratio, won a game and lost one. And yeah, Greymane has been part of every single game in the series thus far. So the Lily set up again with level 1, the Wind Serpent taken here. We're currently also seeing at the bottom of the map the trip, obviously the turrets have been taken by both of the teams. 1 minute in on Volskaya Foundry, that's exactly what you want to do. And then you start focusing attention a little more towards the mech and the healing camp here, the support camp. So far nobody really went for it, but I think we're going to see that soon by one of the 2 teams. There's a level 4 abilities now, and in addition to the Hindering Winds, we're now also seeing for Arthur's the Frozen Wave. So typical build for him, not going into any shenanigans around potential Death Coil focus or spots into the auto attacks. For our good old Nazebo player, the Witch Doctor, we have Big Voodoo taken here. So we're going to keep our eye on him and the stacks to see if the Violent Infection on level 20 would help them out immediately. This is again a tie in this series with the 2-2, so we're going to see one of the teams take the lead before we head into game number 6, which is actually pretty awesome. So we're going to see at least 6 games in this series. And well guys, as I say that, I said it before, if you haven't watched the European finals, then you should definitely check them out on YouTube and take a look there. Washed Up played against Granite Gaming in the best of 7, and it was an absolute insane series. So this one is pretty cool as well, but I would definitely recommend to have a look at that game or that series as well if you haven't watched it yet. And to everybody who is currently watching this series on YouTube, if you enjoy the content here, definitely make sure that you are dropping a like on the video, and a sub on the channel would also be very, very much appreciated. Especially hit also that notification bell if you want to get updates about uploaded videos. With that said, we're starting to focus the attention a bit more on the objective. First lead has been taken by the blue team. The Lost Boys a little bit ahead here over their opponent. Level 7 abilities are also quicker for them, so they're actually doing fairly well. They got the camp top left, that gave them additional XP. And now we're looking at a setup where we're having the red team fight against the talent advantage. Don't see that every day, but they're actually going into that fight. Lunara with a standard European build, by the way, with the level 7 going into the splintered spear here and getting that AoE damage out now too. It's a little bit weird to me that Close to Death would be willing to engage into a talent advantage, and I honestly don't understand why you would do that. Because they get level 7 if they just stay on the lanes in time to contest it. Obviously, they will still be behind on the progress. But now we're having an additional camp taken by their opponent, and just fighting against level 7, why? It's like, what? Yeah, some of the decisions that are being made from a strategic perspective or tactical point is a little bit weird. I mean, either way, at this point we're having again the aggression from the Protector. They're breaking through the middle, and they're obviously now going to try and rotate towards the top side to ideally take down the wall here so that they can access the fountain and drop that one too. But yeah, we're having also 52 stacks now for Nazeebo. And I mean, again, a corpse build, so corpse spiders build is the standard. It's actually quite interesting. If you're looking at ARAMs, for example, it's much more beneficial to go into a toad build. But if you're going into the spiders, you can do a whole lot of work. Spider build is something that, especially in the competitive scene, has been the major focus. So you get a lot of damage against the heroes here, and that's where it definitely outshines compared to the Toad setup that you are seeing when it just comes to wave clear, or when you want to raise down structures, for example. So now, with level 7 abilities in, we also see the Icebound Fortitude. More experience lost, by the way, to the blue team, but they're dominating on the items. I mean, oh boy, do they dominate that item control. They currently have 3 turrets, and they are, well, they have first of all a chance to take down Greymane, who's going to drop that turret if he... Wow, don't tell me he actually survives this. What? Huh. Cookie Man actually gets away. Interesting. Nice escape by him. I didn't think it would be possible for him, to be honest. But yeah, there they go into the attack. So far, no 10 taken for Lunara. Leap is usually what we're seeing on the North American side, and not the poke with the Thornwood Vines. Uther also not claiming a talent yet, but they're going for the next item. They're going for the healing beacon, and so they should. They have full control over the items on the map now, and yeah, they have a massive lead at this point. They start to focus onto the top lane, and so they should take down the fountain, try and take maybe a kill here even. You can't quite make that happen, but taking the fountain down would be the big goal. And Thornwood Vines is actually claimed here, and I like it a lot. So yeah, continuous poke now from Lunara here. And they also know, obviously, they're a little bit on the timer. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, and Nazeebo on level 20 can still lose the game, but obviously it's the power spike that the red team is hoping for. And in an ideal world for the Lost Boys, they would be establishing an advantage up to level 20 that is so huge that even the Violet faction can't turn this around. They also have that double support, so that definitely helps a little bit to mitigate some of the damage. But still, even with the double support, you would run into trouble there. Level 10 abilities ready on both sides. Once again, Lily able to help out here with a let's go. Having at the same time now also her ult immediately activated, since she needs to keep the cookie alive and Arthur's, but that's a cooldown. It gets used just before we are going to see that objective spawn. Top fountain has been eliminated. They get the value here in the middle, and also rotate Blaze bot side to get the rest of the experience. Level 13 is what we're these days talking about mainly at the objective. And with that lead, it's 1.5 levels with 20 seconds to go for the objective to spawn. So yeah, that said, at the bottom, another item taken. I mean, they have an item on every single hero right now. Ooh, Cattle on the other hand needs to divine himself. Ah, he got caught there. So that's a big cooldown now used just before the objective is activating, but still, they have a massive item control, and that's usually what Volskaya Foundry is about. You take the advantage, you take the items, you try to deny them to your opponent, and then you play around that, and so far they've done well. But the objective is now early on claimed by Red Robot, at least for a few seconds. I mean, not for really long, because that rotation is in. There's no talent advantage, but there is a massive item advantage. And also, some of the talents are soon going to be completed too. Both teams, by the way. Ah, great jet propulsion. Nice hits from Talking Trees too. Connects the Thornwood Vines, gets the slows through. 122 stacks, by the way, already for Nazeebo. Yeah, he is definitely going to have the stacks ready for the 20. He's been rotating between the lanes the entire time. And Keenan, with this many stacks, if he continues that trend, is going to be an absolute monster in the late game. And again, he is going to have a huge hit point pool here as well. So we have the move again towards the top, and this time level 13 is a little bit closer for the Lost Boys. Nazeebo still sitting there, and I mean, again, look at the hit point pool already. He's sitting at 4,000 HP at this point. Arthur's has 4,450, so 10% more than Nazeebo. But again, if Nazeebo continues stacks this aggressively, then he has a good chance of ending up to be an absolute late game monster, and we're going to keep a bit of an eye on that too. So, for now, we're having still the control over the top lane. Because now you have level 13, right? So you have level 13 as an advantage. You have the item control. That's not where you want to take an even fight. So, Close to Death is sitting there saying like, okay guys, what do we do? Can we get a gank set up somewhere? Do we go for an item? But even that fight could easily be taken by the Lost Boys, and they can sacrifice a few items just to get that support here. And they have to even, and they're already going in. There's the ult again from Uberman. Alright, but the Cocoon is out. They try to get the kill. Cookie Man is a bit low. They already dropped their healing beacon here. And Bloodsplat is also in trouble. As the army out is trying to heal himself, but they're all low, and the bunker is denying a lot of their plays, but Cattle still falls. Cattle goes down. They killed him. 13 versus 13 now. Red Robot. Oh, that should be a kill against a noob, and it is. Yeah, it's that poke from Lunara, just keeping them low the entire time. And all the items, by the way, now pretty much used from the red team. Close to Death, they pulled all the stops here, but they could only trade a kill. 1 kill for a kill is all that they got from this. Nazeebo still pushing this, still rotating. Mid lane, bot lane, mid lane, bot lane the entire time. And he's sitting at 150 stacks. 10 minutes into the game. That's pretty good. Cooldown reduction now with the Thunder God's Vigor for Cassia. Obviously done with the quest. Shows 0 because she's currently in the Protector. And they're going to get this one at the top side. Normally, again, you would try and also eliminate the fountains on the remaining lanes, especially the bot lane is normally a big focus because you're attempting to prepare for objective number 3, which is going to spawn at the bottom of the map. You get the value here in the middle though, and as the outer structures fall, Close to Death is starting to fall behind a little bit. But as I said previously, as we headed into the game, one of the big plays for them is to delay the game until level 20 and then play around the Vile Infection of Nazeebo. And Nazeebo has been stacking like a madman. And that's exactly what he needs to do to bring them back here. So the question just is, can they survive this long? It's another 6 levels that they need. And their forts are pretty much down. The one at the bot lane is still in play, but the fountain is eliminated. And I could totally see the Lost Boys trying to make a push happen to take this one out as well. But as long as you don't lose the core, you still have a chance to come back into this. Keep Cursed Hollow in mind, guys. Who would have actually thought that Close to Death would be able to win game 3? Nobody. Nobody would have thought they had a chance there. But they made it happen anyways. Now here comes the attack against Killusion, and Arthas walks her down. There's the slow, and that's the kill. Arthas nearly completing his level 4 quest, by the way. There's the quest completed for Cassia, and Arthas is locking her down too. Hosty is in trouble, but now Bloodsplat has to actually retreat because everybody else on the side of the Lost Boys is starting to jump on him. But they get the kill. They save the fort, and they stay alive to fight another day. 170 stacks already for Nazeebo. Yeah, he needs another 4, and he already has the prerequisite for his level 20 to be activated. Just to give you guys a bit of an idea, currently Nazeebo sitting at 4,600 hit points. 4,600 for him, and we have 5,000 for Arthas. So yeah, but the stacks are going to continue to increase that hit point pool. Just to give you another big setup. So Cookie Man, for example, has 3,600 hit points. That's 1,000 less than Nazeebo. Want to check out, let's say, Cassia over here? Cassia has currently 3,400. Similar story. So Nazeebo is slowly and steadily starting to get tank level HP. There's a 16. Epicenter. Epicenter is in. Soul Harvest now as well. Keep him alive a little bit longer. At this point, they're starting to move straight in for the fight. There's already Cassia's ult getting dropped here. Ball of Lightning, mad value. Bunker on the ground, and Uberak in trouble. Quest completed for Arthas as they're moving in once more, but Blood Splat is low. Low in HP, so is everybody else. Divine Shield on Uther, and he tries to get the kill against Blood Splat, but he can't. They have to move away. And the items have already been used, most of them at least, during the fight. Nearly 200 stacks now for Nazeebo. 29,000 damage for him. And then look at the damage output, and then again, look at the difference there. 44,000 for Lunara. 42,000 for Cassia. Uther is sitting at 33. Uther, the third highest damage dealer for the blue team, has more damage than anybody on the other side. And that's now level 17 against level 16 with 3 forts taken down. So, yeah, it is a crazy setup here. It's all about the 20. All about the 20. Nazeebo sits on 210 stacks, 212. The entire game, he has been rotating. And he's sitting at 5,300 hit points now. 5,300. Arthas gets attacked and goes down. Arthas has less HP now than Nazeebo. Arthas has less HP at this point than Nazeebo. Uberak, 4,500 for him, and again, 5,500 for Nazeebo. He's all the way up there. But they got the kill against Arthas. And now he's down. And he has the objective. That's objective number 3. Can you end with that, though? Because objective number 4 is likely going to be on level 20. And they're trying to end with this. They're already pushing the bot lane. Kind of have to. So, yep, there we go. This is the 5th game in the best of 7. This is the chance to get ahead. This is the chance for them. Keenan moves in already. 6,000 hit points right now. 6,200 hit points. And he gets more and more and more and more. He is going to become an absolute monster in the late game. But can they survive? It's only 5 kills in this game. Are they fighting over the objective? That's the next question. Are they going to try and go for the protector in the first place? Item advantage still on the side of close to death, obviously. It's not a big one, but it's there. And here comes the attack, but there comes the jet propulsion. This one missing, actually. They're falling behind. That's the question. Yeah, they just let it go. They just let it go, guys. They just want the experience. They just want 20. They're saying, like, give it up. Give it up. Don't fight for it. Don't care. Just, it doesn't matter. Just go for the next attack. Just defend, and that's all that we need to do for now. Just survive somehow. Give them protector. We don't care. Go top lane. Get experience. And make sure that we can fight live to fight another day. But they have to move back, though. And Uther's actually starting to move in. He's gonna get the interrupt, guys. Uther's there for the interrupts. The fort is down. 3 heroes aren't back for the defense. 3 heroes aren't there. Cookie Man gets interrupted. And now this attack is gonna go deeper. They were not able to move back in time because Uther interrupted them. And now we're talking core. No defense up to the core. Big mistake. Big mistake. Close to death, didn't move back in time. They're trying to chase down the backline here. They're trying to go for Lunara. The robot is already on the core. Can they take it down? That's the question. The core is falling. Is the defense there? Is the defense there? Greymane cannot move back. He got interrupted by Uther over and over again. 40%, 38%, and they are losing the protector. They're still in play, though. They're trying to go for Arthas here. Greymane's still not back. Uther is moving in right now. And they're trying to defend here. The shields are starting to recover, but level 20 is ready any moment right now. Close to death with a misplay. They move back to late. Greymane is dead. Uther got the solo kill against him. Uther got the solo kill against Greymane, and now Lunara and Cassia are going for the core. Ana is down, and the core is going to fall as well. Close to death. They just fucked it up. Close to death. Goes down. No level 20 for Nazeebo. And this is game 5 taken by the Lost Boys as they claim the lead. Game number 6, everybody! The Lost Boys in the lead after the victory on Volskaya Foundry. And boy, we're definitely going to recap that in a moment. First of all, let's introduce the lineup for Game 6 in this best of 7. The Lost Boys on the left side with Collusion on Ana, Cattle on Johanna, Talking Trees on Greymane, And Dehaka played by Zergling with Hosty on Lunara again. Over to the right side of the map, we have Keenan on Jaina for Close to Death, Huberman on Brightwing, Red Robot on Mirrodin, Bloodsplat on Chen, and Cookie Man on Sylvanas. Yeah, the last game was a bit of a weird one. The idea behind it definitely to get Nazeebo to 20, and they even abandoned the third Protector, which I honestly can understand. You can take the fight, it's uneven talents, but they wanted to make sure that they get level 20. And the idea behind all of this wasn't really bad. If you abandon the bot lane, you say, okay, we defend against the third Protector, and we're going to take it from there. It can definitely work out for you. The big problem was that they pushed the top lane. Now, you can do that. You just have to make sure that you're back in time for the defense. And they moved back really late in the first place, as the Protector was already on the map. And then Uther just walked in and started to interrupt. And because of those interrupts, the Protector was able to take down the keep before anybody was even in a defensive position. And then Greymane had to deal with Uther for the entire time and eventually got even killed by him, so he was never part of the defense. So Close to Death with a decent idea in the draft, with a good strategy, stacked insane. I mean, Keenan's stacks were just incredible. He was a 240 as all of that happened, but it was a massive, massive throw, like a big, big screw up there in the late game, and it costs them the game. So the Lost Boys now in the lead, which means that if they win this one, they take the title and crown themselves the champion in the best of 7. So Close to Death has to try and fight back into it. The global in the hands of the blue team is definitely going to make it a bit difficult in the late game. But let's see what they can pull off with this. Momentum can be built, obviously, through Sylvanas. It's a bit more of a traditional comp that we're now seeing for them. But yeah, let's have a look at how this is going to plan out right now. First of all, we're already seeing Hold Your Ground, as we're looking at Johanna. And camps are taken on both sides, which means that it's all about the pumpkins. And it's not even Halloween yet. So yeah, pumpkin time. So let's see. Sylv is doing her thing and easily able to shut those pumpkins down before they get any value. Let's see the Jaina move towards the top lane, so they're going to be able to take this one as well. There's a lot on the line here. I mean, again, still, it's not only... You are in a best of 7 series, and this has just been back and forth the entire time. Now, the Lost Boys had the better start into it, but Close to Death definitely forced their way back into that series. For now, we're seeing Lunara with a level 4. We actually have Mirrodin with an adjustment on the side of Close to Death. Reverberation now taken, so it looks like we're going to see the Bronzebeard Rage build for him. Also, Sylvanas continuing with the Mercenary Queen. Tries to get the extra value out of the pumpkins. Yeah, pretty powerful, actually. Like, this was one of the most insane things ever, that actually applies to the explosion of the pumpkins. So if you get them and you push them in, together with Sylvanas, you can get mad value on those and really raise structures down quickly. The first phase is starting, which means that we have 3 altars on the map. And obviously, it's still an even bell tower split with 4 against 4. But yeah, Brightwing in this case with the Dream Shot on level 4. We're having this time actually a full build into the machine gun setup, so it's a full Frostbolt. Like, range increase, Frost shots now taken. The wall top left, top right are already split. That's what we normally see here. And it's the fight over the third one. Dehaka actually still at the top lane. Brightwing, who channeled at the top right, is not there yet. There's the first interrupt as we have Cannon moving in. On Johanna again, same as we've seen obviously on Battlefield of Eternity, where it didn't work out. Oh, the tongue barely not connecting. It could have been tricky. Mostly is a bit low there. Anna needs to definitely work overtime in order to keep everybody alive here. There's a lot of AoE that comes through, as we can already tell, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. And the situation is starting to look a bit better for Close to Death to channel the third one. Uh-oh, that could be a kill. Iron Skin being used already, and yes, that's just barely a move out from Johanna. Channel is in again. Hosty wants to interrupt. There's the immediate move onto him. Nice coordination from the team, but not enough to take him down. But they try to get the kill against Collusion, and this one works out. Greymane goes in and wants the kill against Cookie Man. And Cookie survives on 40 HP. Yeah, but they get the kill against Mirrodin, so now it's a 4 versus 4, and everybody's low for the red team. And that's the end of Jaina, and that's the end of Sylvanas. Triple kill. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Triple kill against them, and that's the channel, and that's level 7 for them too. So that's another 4 shots fired, and therefore a lead with 36 to 32 points on the core for the Lost Boys. Yeah, 3 kills against 1. Level 7, nearly level 8 for them now. and they have the pressure through the mid lane, where they can, sorry, through the bottom of the map, where with their pumpkins they can get some additional damage now too. On level 7 we're still seeing the festering wounds, and we're having now the Brewmaster's balance taken, as both of the teams have hit level 7. But that start wasn't really as good as originally expected. Close to Death looked in the team fight as if they would be able to take it, but then it turned against them. Starting off with a kill against Red Robot, mirrored in down. 6 stacks for him, by the way, so he's currently still stacking around the Stormbolt. We're having the Panda at the top, and I would actually expect that Bloodsplot this time goes for the triple Pandas. Keep in mind, on Cursed Hollow, they actually went into the play around the Keck. Would be a little bit surprised to see that again. It's just not as good. The talent's just not as good. It's just like hands down. I mean, the thought process behind it is obviously that you want to get isolation kills, or you want to just create some space for someone else on the team. But if you have the triple Panda and you jump into the opponent's backline, you can just absolutely wreck them. And now against Ana, against Lunara, even against Greymane, I would definitely expect to see triple Panda, Storm, Earth and Fire claimed by him. Would be shocked to not see that. So with this, we're having still our little setup against the bot lane, trying to make sure that those camps are not going to do too much work. It's a double altar now. I mean, normally you see an even trade. I'm a little bit worried for the red team, considering that there's level 10. Honestly, the Lost Boys should make a play for this one now. With level 10 abilities there, if they get the first interrupt in, but it seems like they're not going to try and do that. Cattle gets slowed up. No, there it is. There's the flashlight, there's the interrupt, and there's the kill. Jaina down, 4 shots fired, and they're going to get both. They're going to get both, and they might get a few more kills too. Eye of Horus already used. Cookie Man is down, the cookie crumbles, and Huberman is also in trouble, trying to get away there, and is actually able to escape. But yep, this is another altar, another 4 shots fired, and now we're having them down to 24 points. Uh-oh. And it gets worse. The boss gets attacked as well. Guys, this is starting to become disastrous. 5 kills against 1, entire level ahead. 36 points against 24. Another 4 shots get fired, and that's them down to 20. Ooh, that is not how you want to start into game 6 in this series. Not if you're down a map. But they have level 10 now. This is the time to fight back. This is the time to try and employ the power of Sylvanas to push maybe those lanes out a little bit more and gain momentum. It is Towers of Doom. Again, it is Towers of Doom. If you gain momentum on this map, you can always try and come back into this, but the start is not great for them. Not even a little bit. So now we're having, again, Keenan trying to frontline with Jaina a little bit. Not quite, but yeah. So they're attempting to make the play against Cattle. They really abused Johanna on Battlefield of Eternity. I mean, Johanna died 8 times on that map. Cattle didn't have a good time there at all. But now the question, can they make the play? Zergling, isolation on Brightwing, and the Fruit Fly gets completely destroyed. Brightwing is down, no friends in this game. 6 kills against 1, and the Lost Boys are dictating what's happening there. They are absolutely dictating the game right now. And they are level ahead, they're trying to go through the bot lane to drop the bell tower, and things are looking very bad for Close to Death. There's a single altar spawning in 7 seconds, and there could be level 13 already in the hands of the Lost Boys. So a talent advantage is definitely possible. A kill here would be great, though. Oh, the blessed shield! Oh, Jaina is dead again. Oh my god. Jaina is just getting wrecked this game. This is the 3rd kill against her already, and we're only 8 minutes in. So yeah, they're down a hero, they're down a talent, which means this is going to be a freebie. Bloodsplat with the Storm, Earth and Fire, obviously, as we said previously. They're still trying to fight this. They're still trying to fight it, though. And Brightwing goes down again. Yep, screw the Fruit Fly, but the Panda value. Lunara is down, but they're still looking at the tricky spot. If the Panda can take down Talking Trees, then maybe we have a chance for them to come back. By the way, Jaina is already back on the map, since this is obviously still early in the game, so the death timers are low. But damn. Yeah, there we go. Cursed Bullet, by the way. This time not go for the throat. They go for Zergling. Zergling. And there's the burrow. The sleep on Jaina. And they try to get another kill, but they can't. They actually take it. Close to Death Brightwing comes back in, has the global as she revives. Death timers being low helps, of course, with the global, and they get it. 32 against 20. Oh, unbelievable. And now they have a chance to push this a little bit, but there comes again the Condemn, Blessed Shield, and Keenan goes down. 4th kill against Jaina. 4th kill against her, but a bit of value in the middle of the map as they're trying to break through the wall and eliminate one of the towers at least. Yep, here comes the leap, and Cookie Man trying to run away straight into the hands of Johanna. Holy shit. 10 kills against 2. Oh, nearly 2 levels behind now. 32 against 20. But they haven't lost any bell towers yet. So that's the saving grace in the setup. No bell towers have been lost here up to this point. That at least helps them a little bit. But yeah, in the mid lane, Red Robot against Zergling. Both of them sitting tight here. Here comes the bottom pressure. Bloodsplot in trouble. Does he have the pandas? Nope. He goes down. And that might be true for the bell tower too. 11 kills against 2, guys. It is not looking good. Not at all. Not even a little bit. They're trying to defend this though, but Greymane takes it. Greymane takes it. They're still fighting for it though. Keenan gets the heal from Brightwing as they're going in, trying to slow them down here. Has to be careful. Nice Stormbolt. Good Stormbolt. Ana's down. Ana down. Isolation hitting Muradin though. Muradin. And they get the kill against the Haka. And Muradin is alive for a little bit longer. Hosty was trying to get the damage in. But now the bell tower is any second going to drop into their hands. And if Red Robot can't jump out, he's dead. And he gets stunned out. Blessed Shield comes in. Boom. Down he goes. 12 kills against 4. 16 against 14. Lulnara is eliminated though. Keenan gets healed by Brightwing. And the pandas are looking to do what? Getting one of the altars apparently. Cattle gets the channel. That's 5 shots. That puts them down to 15. Boom. 15 against 32. Panda's still sitting there. They're still down in talent. They're still down 2 levels. But they have a chance to maybe do something over here. Oh, they had to take a lot of bad fights this series. And this is another one. Down a talent, down a level. But at least Lunara isn't here. Lunara isn't here. It's the 5 versus 4. It will be when both of them move in. Brightwing with a heal again against Bloodsplat. Has the blink heals too. They're trying to go for Cattle for the heals. And it's the end of Johanna. It's the end of more than that. Talking Trees is also in trouble. Tries to jump out and gets body blocked and eliminated. And guys, there's a Sylvanas here. They try to go for collusion. And Ana nearly falls. The shots are fired as 3 are hitting the core, but they are starting to take that bottom bell tower with the help of Sylvanas. Some momentum. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon for them. A slight shimmer at the end of the tunnel. And they get this one. 16 versus 16 now. 12 kills against 7. They got the kills. They won the fight. And they're starting to move down to the bottom of the map. The Haka has already taken topside now. And all of a sudden, they're on even talents. Guys, they're coming back into this. They're actually starting to reclaim their position on the map. They have the lead in bell towers now. They have a 5 versus 3 situation going for them. They're still super behind when it comes to the points in the core. I mean, we're talking 15 against 30 pretty much. But still, there's a chance. Can they push it to game 7? That's the question. There's the next fight. 16 versus 16. The Haka comes in. Oh, the heal. Brightwing with a save. Cookie Man alive. The Haka down. Oh my god. The Lost Boys are starting to lose control. They lose both of the front lines. They lose more. Illusion is low. The quest is completed. Muradin hops. And Keenan nearly dies to the death zone. Barely survives. 2 shots fired. 3 shots fired. Bada bing, bada boom. 26 to 15. What's happening here? 12 kills against 10, and they're coming back into the game. And now we have a triple altar spawning. How many can they take? They should be able to grab 2. Especially with the bot lane control that they have. That bottom bell tower should be more or less a freebie. And they're starting to make the play now, even in the middle. Sylvanas isn't here yet. They're trying to take this one. That could be 6. This is another 6.5 out of moment potentially. Brightwing is channeling the bot lane, uncontested. Keenan at the top. They're all setting up here. Ana isn't here yet. Ana is not here yet. They go for the aggression and they get the double channel. Guys, this is 10 shots. Boom. 16 against 15. It's dead even again. It is dead even. They're even ahead in experience right now. They go for the play. Oh my god, circling! Talking trees, they're all so low. Can they get the kill against Circle? Oh my god, the Haka's dead again. What's happening here? Iophorus gets interrupted. Red Robot is sitting at the front. There's still another altar on the map that they could channel. There is still another altar on the map, and if they get this one, it's going to be 11 points on the side of the Lost Boys. They dominated the early game. They absolutely wrecked them. They got kill after kill after kill after kill, and they got all the bell towers, and now all of a sudden, all the altars, and now all of a sudden it's a turnaround. They're gonna get this one. Up at the top, there's the attack against the next pumpkin camp. They're going for Cattle again. Cattle is in trouble. The shots are fired. 11 against 15. Cattle survives, and Cattle goes down. Sylvanas comes in with the ult and drops him. Cattle was nearly alive through this. Bot lane, they're trying to reclaim the bell tower. The one at the top has already fallen. This one is actually going to end up in their hands again. But now it's obviously down to the pumpkins. And they're going to try and get those in. And they will get all three. 3 more shots fired. We're talking single digits. 8 points against 15. 8 points against 15. And they're half a level away from 20. Close to Death has absolutely turned this around. More than that, they have a massive lead now. 57,000 damage on the side of Jaina at this point. 68,000 for Lunara, and they're going to get another bell tower in the middle. They're just trading bell towers at this point. They're trading bell towers. A quick scout to see if the boss is taken. If someone else is going for it, and that's not the case. The Haka is a little bit slower up at the top. Hasn't really claimed this just yet. But they already rotate to the bottom of the lane to try and take this one too. Yeah, Red Robot moves out. The Cursed Bullet has hit him hard, but it doesn't matter. They're trying to go for another one, and this time with the help of Sylvanas and her level 4, the Mercenary Queen, they get it easily. 20 against 19. There comes the attack. Brightwing is dead. Brightwing down, but Cattle is also in trouble. So is Talking Trees. Both of them in trouble, and down they go. Illusion, Lunara, Anna, and Johanna all eliminated, and they try to get the kill against Circling as well. Yeah, Death Zone is keeping him alive. But there is the altar at the bottom of the map. And boys, we are top. No way. They get the Dehaka kill. The boss is up on the map. And guys, this could be the end of it. Sylvanas takes the camp. There's only Greymane. If that camp hits and they get the single altar at the bottom of the map, that's it. Greymane can't do anything here. Greymane actually gets attacked. This is game. Guys, this is game. This is game 7. Greymane has to try and stall it out. That's the only thing that he can do. He's trying to stall it, and they're of course trying to push him now. There's the attack, there's the silence, there's the 6 shots fired already, and that has to be it. Boom, core down to 1 point, and this is game. Core explodes. This is it. Game number 7. We're going to the final map in the grand final of the Division S North America setup. What an insane series. Game number 6 was pretty much a blast. I mean, a nice 6.5 out of 10 moment there for Close to Death coming back into that series. Now we have the Lost Boys against Close to Death on Infernal Shrines to determine the victor, the champion of the first season of Division S in North America. Killusion on Deckard Cain for the Lost Boys, Blaze on Zergling, or the other way around. Cattle playing Diablo, Talking Trees on Junkrat, and Hosty on Sylvanas. On the right side of the map, Close to Death with Keenan on Tychus, Red Robot on Johanna, we have Cookie Man on Lunara, Huberman on Alexstrasza, and Bloodsplat on Karazim. Interesting double support setup for the red team. So we're actually seeing them with a double support, not that Uther main tank situation that they oftentimes go for. And with that, we're now having Alexstrasza. I mean, Alexstrasza with the Dragon Queen is obviously pretty fantastic on this map, because once that you are ahead on the objective, you can, with a quick trade and the Dragon Queen, easily claim the Punisher. Then again, I gotta admit that Diablo on this map is terrifying and can pretty much one-shot people. I'm wondering a little bit what kind of build Cattle uses, because previously he went into the Firestorm on level 13 and level 16 as well, and I really think that if you're going into Domination, you usually get more out of it. But as it stands, we're also having now Tychus, which I guess is a bit of a counter-pick attempt against Diablo. The bigger they are on level 4 is great for that. But Tychus is usually pretty vulnerable because he has to get close to the action in order to get that through. And keep in mind that we're also having not only Blaze in there, but we also have Deckard Cain, which on this map gets added value because he can easily control all of these choke points with his spells, so that's something to watch out for too. And especially if level 20 hits and he goes into the Endless Flask, you have a great setup there. In addition to that, we're seeing Sylvanas who can enhance those pushes even more with the Unfurling Shadows on level 1. So there's definitely a lot to talk about here. But that double support is still something that worries me a little bit. Also because it leaves pretty much Johanna solo at the front line. Now you can definitely play that. I talked previously how a solo frontliner is tricky to play with a triple backline because it's a pretty shit composition in general. With the double support you can definitely do it. But again, the question is always then, how does that double support work out? It's not like we're having a Tacita plus X combo with, I say, Vala here or something. So I would definitely give Lost Boys a lead when it just comes to the composition, but then again I'm looking at this from the European perspective obviously, and NA has their very own take on these things. So let's see who's going to take this on the lead for now. Interesting enough, we're having actually Blood Splat at the top lane, solo laning this for now. And what the hell? Keenan goes into In the Rhythm. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Let's see how much he can get out of that. Cattle gets already attacked here. So in... Oh, that was a perfect play by Junkrat. There's the first kill. And the beast up immediately afterwards too. So In the Rhythm is something that I haven't really seen in a long time on a competitive level. Huberman gets attacked as well and falls to Alexstrasza down, Tychus down. And let's see how that works out. So Tychus with In the Rhythm. Now In the Rhythm in the past has been played a lot, but then Blizzard changed to level 13 talent and pretty much made it completely useless in the synergy with In the Rhythm. Red Robot gets away from this one. So especially in on the competitive level, when you're talking about like quick and decisive kills and action and coordinated plays, then normally it's the bigger they are that you really want, because you're burning a target down at the start and then going for the kill. Talking kill, Hosty is about to get killed. Stays alive since Collusion saves his ass. Nicely done. But yeah, a bit more damage against Cookie Man. So it's actually really, really rare on a competitive... First of all, Tychus isn't popular on the higher skill level. That's the first one. But also, when you play Tychus, usually it's really the bigger they are. Very, very rarely do you see In the Rhythm. And if you can stack properly, you can, towards the late game, get immense, immense value through that talent. But again, it's a problem with the synergy on the level 13 talent, so I would still expect to see the Neo Steel coding there. And the bigger question is also, how much can Tychus actually get in terms of stacks? Because you need to stay very close to the action. That makes you very vulnerable with this. So we'll see if he can pull it off. But for now, we're having level 7 talents. Again, a fight that you usually don't want to take if you are the red team, but Blaze isn't there yet, so it's a 5 versus 4. And they're popping the early Dragon Queen here as well. Blaze is getting the extra value for them in terms of talents and experience, and is now starting to rotate topside. So they're still willing to go for a fight, despite the fact that they're down to 2 stacks against 25. Blaze coming in. There's the slow, there's the stun, there's the combo, and Keenan survives. Wow. Keenan survives, but they're on 33 stacks for the objective. Johanna still dies though. And they might get more kills. They're looking for more, and they're getting more kills. They're definitely going to try and take Keenan down, and he's already eliminated. The Punisher is taken, but it seems like Blood Splat is also going to die, and yep, he's down. Triple kill, 5 kills against 0, and now even with a Punisher, it shouldn't really get a whole lot of value. 26 stacks for Tychus, so we're keeping on our eye on that. And see how he's going to work with that. But again, I don't really expect him to do too much until the late game. The problem is always that you don't really have these long and drawn out fights on a competitive level normally. It's more so quick attempts at kills. And we'll see if he gets that done. Again, competitive play is very, very different to what you see on a casual level in any Storm League level or quick match. But let's see what he can pull off with this. We're having, again, by the way, the Chokin Pollen as level 7 talent over the Splintered Spear, which we usually see on the European server, and which actually in the last few games in this series also been adopted by all of the players. 61 stacks for Sylvanas. So she actually has really high stacks already. 5 minutes in, that's a really decent stack count for her, and they're getting even more against Red Robot. So I gotta admit that the Lost Boys are definitely turning up the heat in game number 7. But we've said that on multiple maps now. They looked fantastic on Cursed Hollow, they looked great on Towers of Doom, and they lost both of these maps. And every single time that you think that close to death is close to death, they're somehow turning around and just drop the opponent and gain momentum on the map, which they translate into an easy victory. So you can't count these guys out. Another waltz done against Tigers, and a bit of body blocking too as they're trying to go for the play. But, well, there's Blood Splat coming in as well, but actually retreating. Level 10 abilities are definitely going to be much sooner for the Lost Boys. And with that, could get another nice setup here to maybe force an objective, maybe go for a structure, maybe just force a team fight and get a kill or two. At least try and take a few of the camps on the map. And the bottom of the map was completely painted red by Close to Death, as they took all 3 of the Khaldor camps there previously. Here we go. Lightning Breath has been chosen for Cattle, for the point. Lulnado as well. And they're already using that, but that was a bit of a... yeah, that was a bit of a bust there. So trying to make the play, obviously, for Alexstrasza, but that didn't connect at all. But they're pushing the agenda at the bottom of the map, and thanks to the level 10, they can easily do that. They have Sylvanas, of course, as well, which really, really helps with this. Cookie Man gets attacked, and we are talking 79 stacks by now for Sylvanas herself. And this early in the game, after only 1 objective, and therefore 5 versus 5 fight, this is a really nice setup, of course, for them. And that's a 4. I mean, you can't do anything about this. This is pretty much a given. This is what the foregone conclusion after level 10 dropped this early. But now that we have 10 on both sides, at least there's a chance to fight back. Tigers is going to be interesting. Yes, he goes drill, and that's a good choice. If you go into the level 4 talent, if you go into In the Rhythm, you want to get drill. The reason being is that obviously your goal is to have a really nice setup and a long duration on the minigun. And if you go into Odin, you can't use that. So in this case, you're usually playing around drill. And you don't really see that all that often. Honestly, when I saw the combo, I really expected them to go Odin for a very simple reason. Nice 7-sided attempt. That's obviously one of the things that you can do here. But yeah, Odin for a simple reason. You have Alexstrasza already. You can use the Dragon Queen. And if you use Tigers with Odin, you usually accomplish the same thing. So both of them are usually designed to get you access on the objective. And that's another reason why I'm really a bit surprised that we're seeing In the Rhythm. If you go the bigger they are against tanks like Blaze, but mainly Diablo, and then you go into Odin, you're more or less guaranteed to win every single objective on the map. Or at least have a very easy time doing that. In this case, they're going for a different setup though. And if that's going to work or not, that's a question that will have to be answered. They're going for the drill, and the drill is down before it does anything. 40 stacks by now for Tigers, only got 5 through in the last one. 7-sided against Diablo, didn't drop him though, but they dropped Tigers. Tigers is down, and here comes the Alexstrasza play. Try and go for the Cleanse and Flame. Hosty goes down too, that was a good one, but Lunara gets wrecked. And we talk 27 against 13 stacks now on the objective. Up at the top lane, we're having more value from the camp now too. And they're trying to go for the objective again, but this time it's a 4 versus 3, and that might actually be an opportunity for the Lost Boys to win this one. They have 10 more seconds on Sylvana, so she's going to be back for the push as well if they win the Punisher here. Red Robot still moving in. They're trying to find access to this. There comes the attempt to go for a few more stacks, and they're not getting any. 34 against 32 right now, and this should be it. The Lost Boys are about to claim a Punisher, and they do. They lose Diablo on the other hand, but he only loses his souls. He's going to be back in a bit. Sylvanas is already on the move. They're going to get the level 13 talent, and the question is whether they push. Bot lane 4 has been taken previously, so now they can go into the middle if they want. At the top lane, Lunara is taking this down. The wall has been destroyed by the camp, and this is a great situation for the Lost Boys. 7 against 2 kills right now. Taika sits on 49 stacks. Nothing crazy. Sylvanas herself on 86 hasn't really gained too many in the last fight either, but gained a few. 13 talents are ready for them. And I'm still interested to see what the 13 is on the side of Tigers. Neosteel Coding should be the play here. But just imagine in the last fight if you have Odin. That drill didn't do jack shit. If they get Odin there and they time it so that Alexstrasza uses the Dragon Queen first and then Odin comes through, they win that objective. And they have an easier time with Tigers as well. So I don't really think I can agree with the choices that they made here. But again, they made insane comebacks happen, and they might be able to pull that off again. So we'll see if they can if they can take this. I mean, this is the last map. And oh my god, that's the stuff. Guys, this is a horrible talent to take if you're going into In the Rhythm. It was previously the way to go, because previously what actually happened is that for the duration of That's the Stuff, you would get hit points. So you had a lot of sustain, and the more you stacked on the level 4, the more effective and the more difficult it was for you to get killed, because you got insane value in self-sustain here. Talking about kills, Karazim and Johanna both down. The problem that you have now is that you actually only get the bonus after the talent expires, after the minigun duration expires, which is horrible, because the whole idea of this talent in the rhythm is to get as much of a minigun duration as you possibly can. So the more you stack this, the later the value of this one kicks in and the more time your opponent has to kill you. And talking about kills again, Killusion saves himself just barely, but Lunara goes down. They go for Keenan. He's nearly falling. They get the kill against Alexstrasza first, and Tychus is obviously cornered. He can't escape there either. They're going to get the kill against him as well, and they're going to get the top 4. So Blizzard back then, by changing That's the Stuff, pretty much annihilated the entire build. They killed the entire build. It was pretty common to see in the rhythm, and That's the Stuff, plus drill back in the days. And once that Blizzard changed this talent, most of the players moved away from it because they just said, this is actual ace synergy. The more value you get out of your level 4 talent, the less value you have in the team fight from That's the Stuff. Because you're pretty much never going to end up in a situation where just as the minigun duration is over and you're nearly dead, the heal kicks in. Instead, your opponent is going to focus you down quickly when they have a chance. And it's a horrible, horrible design choice that Blizzard made back then. And it pretty much killed that entire talent tree for Tychus. And this is honestly, this is the first time that I've seen this in more than a year. Pretty much 1.5 years or something. So I'm really, really surprised by the build that Tychus is going on for right now. And, well, it isn't really working for them. 21,000 damage on Tychus for now. 36,000 for Sylvanas. We're having 25,000 on Junkrat, 29k on Lunara. And they take the camp topside. 12 kills against 2. With this now, we're having a 2-level lead as well. And let's see how that's going to work out for them. I mean, right now, what are we going to get from this? Let's Alright, so at this point, the one reason why it's also like, I personally Neosteel coding, I mean, you can go for a cancel and then try and activate that, that helps a little bit, but Neosteel coding usually helps you through any kind of burst that comes your way. Either way, I'm not really trying to shit on Tychus here, I'm just really surprised by that setup and that the ult for in particular. The level 13 talent is one thing, the level 4 and the level 10 abilities are more so an issue considering the map that they're in here. But the problem that they're having right now is that they're just not getting any kills in the first place. Diablo, by the way, as you can see, has now shifted away. Domination has been taken, and there's another kill. Previously, Cattle actually went away from the talent, but in this case, they're getting kill after kill. Alexstrasza is down. Tychus is also dead. As I said previously, one of the reasons why he gets not picked anymore, or very rarely, is that he now has also a very reduced attack range, and that makes him very vulnerable if he goes up against opponents that can stun lock him, and that's exactly what happens there. So now they're going for the core already. The Lost Boys, 14 kills against 2. They want the game. Do they get Lunara? No, they don't, but they might get another kill. They go for the robot, and down goes Johanna, and with 3 heroes down, the core is falling, and it's falling quickly. This could be game. This could be it, and with Lunara dead, this is a foregone conclusion. This is game, and this is the Lost Boys crowning themselves the champion of the Division S finals here in North America. They win the grand final. It went to the 7th map, but they are victorious. In the best of 5, it was close to death that claimed victory. In this one, it is the Lost Boys. When it mattered, they were there, and they are the champion of Division S North America.